we're going to go to this clip of Assange. He talked to George Stephanopoulos just about his fate. Here he is.
What's next for you, Mr. Assange? Any chance you're going to leave that embassy anytime soon?
I would leave this embassy. You know, it's a bit of a prison in some way, but I have good people here. But where would I go to? You know, I would end up in the outside world, where you are. But what is happening to the outside world? That's a much bigger consideration. It's a bigger consideration for me and my staff and the 12 different legal actions we have going in different countries. But it's a consideration for everyone. What type of place is Western democracy going to be?
First, I want to ask you, what's next in your estimation for WikiLeaks?
Well, I think it all depends really on what happens with Julian Assange.
Right.
I mean, WikiLeaks will keep going, but as the head of WikiLeaks, it's very important that he have access to material and that he's able to get this material out and get published.
And what do you think, what is his future? Here he is, he's holed up in this embassy. It doesn't sound like much of a life he's having there.
Well, it's really unclear what's going to happen right now in terms of he faces these charges in Sweden, and that's probably going to have to be dealt with first. I mean, it's very interesting. People asked about what this meant, that there was not a sealed indictment in the United States. What does that mean?
Right.
And I think that there's three possible scenarios. It could mean that the United States, in fact, for some reason, has decided they're not going to bring charges and they're really not going to indict Julian Assange. It also could mean that they have made a distinction between people like Edward Snowden, who worked for a company and was really required under law to protect classified information, and they believe violated that oath.
Right.
And same with Bradley Manning. Versus Julian Assange, who is an Australian citizen and is publishing material that he was given. Or it could mean that the United States government is waiting to see how things will play out in Britain, whether eventually he will be kicked out or he will be somehow taken from the Ecuadorian embassy to Sweden,
right,
and face those charges and then be extradited to the United States. And then at that point, maybe there would be an indictment. So it's really unclear. While we are very sure that there is no unsealed indictment or any sealed charges, it's unclear what exactly that means for Julian Assange.